Hello, my name is Rohan. I'm the head of productions at Ardra Studios. Today we have with us Rajiv, who is an animator at Rockstar Games. I hope you enjoy this conversation and get some insight about the industry. Thank you. So, how is Rockstar?
It's great, man. Great to be at Rockstar. The culture and all are it's pretty different because like if I say different, I don't have much experience to tell, but yeah, whatever 1.5 years or 2 years, around 2 years has taught me, it's different, but and it's good. It's good. I haven't had any bad experience neither here or anywhere else, so it's really good.
What were you doing before Rockstar? How was it before Rockstar?
So before Rockstar, I was in an indie company, and it was based in Hyderabad, and I was an animator there as well. So I worked there close to around slightly more or around 1.5 years, and it was pretty great out there as well, and the culture was really good. And prior to that, I was in an IT company, and worked there for around 3 years. It was a software company. So like that was just right after I graduated from my engineering and did my graduation in computer science, and after that I got placed and was working there for 3 years. So yeah, so that's my work.
So, it's pretty interesting. So, you were engineer before getting into
Yeah, right.
animation. So, how was that transition between engineering to animation? How did your family take?
It took some time, to be honest. It took some time because it's not what everybody wants or gets into. But unlike the stage right now, I see many people very interested in the field, and very many people are coming up. But it took some time for me to convince my parents because I wanted to get into the field and I knew what I wanted to do. So I was already planning for it since a very long time. While I was in college, I had this plan in the back of my mind. But I had some time for me. It took some time for me to convince my parents out there, and they were definitely supportive. It wasn't that they were because it's a very new genre for them as well. So it took some time for them to understand what the field is, what the market is, how big it is, and what animation is all about. So it took some time for them as well, but eventually, yeah, it just worked out.
Well, I can say that I have the similar experience as well.
Oh, okay, nice.
So my family is based with the army defense background. So I was before animation in this industry. I was doing CA.
CA, okay.
My father was pretty shocked when I said that I don't want to continue doing CA and I want to jump into this field.
Yeah.
So that was very tough for my father to also believe that okay, something can be done in this industry, because for me it was either joining defense or either doing something which is engineering, doctor or CA.
Okay.
So when I told my father earlier that I would be doing CA, so he was pretty chill about it.
Yeah.
But then when I suddenly said that no, I don't want to do it because I was not enjoying it,
Yeah.
for him to also believe it took some time. But then eventually he understood, okay, this is something new that he wants to do it. But then suddenly I got into an internship, and after that it's all changed. So I can understand how it would have been for your father.
Then it's a similar route for the both of us, I guess.
So coming back to whole engineering and animation, how do you compare it?
Firstly, it's two totally different streams. But I think besides the books, what engineering has taught me has really helped me in my animation as well. So really owning up to what the task I'm given in. So that has something that really helped me out. Technical things the people, you tend to have a technical mindset while coding and all. So that really helped me out in animation, like problem solving, like why this and that, some technical things is not working out, then I go back into the code or maybe look up on the web and see what the issues is about. So that technical part of it has helped me out really good. But it's obviously it's totally different. So no way, I don't think any way both the fields meet, I guess, because it's creative and this is a bit technical. But it has helped me out. Definitely it has helped me out because mostly the mindset, I would say, is what really helped me, because while I was in a software company, the environment that I got in that place and the environment that I'm getting right now, it's pretty similar. Obviously the work is completely different, but it's pretty similar. The owning up to the task that I'm given, reporting back to my leads with the set amount of things that are given to me. So all those things have really helped me out in that way. So it's totally worth what I have served my time in my IT work.
So how is it the learning part? I mean, you learned as an engineer as well, and you learned as an animator as
Yeah.
well. how is it different? Is it according to the things that you're taught, the assignments or the exams, and like how is it different from learning as an engineer and learning as an animator?
It's somewhat similar because in both the cases I'm learning something very new. So it's somewhat similar. Obviously, the content of either of them are different from each other. But I would say it's some, as a student, I felt like in engineering I felt a similar way, the way I felt in animation. But animation, because it was my personal venture, so I put in the more hours that I had to put in because I was really interested in it. And obviously, like since I had stepped into this field by myself and I chose this field, so I had to prove that it's really worth my time and it's really worth the for everyone, because it's not just me, it's my family behind me supporting me. So in that respect, it was really there to help me. So like I could give in the extra amount of hours that I needed to give. But yeah, it's somewhat similar, both the cases, because both of them were entirely new for me. Obviously I didn't study engineering from the very beginning, so it was new. But yeah, both the things were completely like similar also, but different on the contextual level of it.
What was the inspiration behind joining this field? You were coming from an engineering background.
Yeah.
So how did this all pop in?
I always had a knack for sketching, so that was my first venture into the creative thing. It was something that was really close to me, and from a very tender age I was drawing and I was into this field. And I knew that I wanted to do something in the field, and then slowly, obviously cartoon was a different level for me back then, because I couldn't really understand what animation market was when I was small. So I looked at cartoon in a very different way. I didn't know that there was a like prospect in this market as well. So cartoon was slowly that made me realize what this field is about. And then slowly, as I like got to know, as I went to a couple of art schools as well, just a local school in my arena, and they slowly made me realize what animation is all about. And then I really stood onto the ground that I think I would want to be an animator in that respect, because it's a creative field, and it has that the not exactly the sketching thing, but that creativeness of this field is really what resonated with me. And that's when I knew that animation was something, because technically my mind honestly doesn't work in that way. So I'm more of a creative guy, and I love the creativity that comes with this field. So I always knew that this would be my field, and I would be true to myself if I am in this field. So yeah.
So coming back to Rockstar.
Yeah.
So how was the hiring process and everything? About how did you join Rockstar?
Yeah, it was cool. It was they obviously gave me a test to do in my first round. So it was a 3-hour test, and I was to animate. They had given me a context, and they had a particular rigs that needs to be used in that shot. So they gave me a 3 hour, and on the day itself, I was given the context of what my animation would be. And like there would be a lead to back you up if you need any help. Like probably after a couple of hours, he or she joins in and just looks into your shot if there's any recommendation. Like similarly how industry works, like you won't be given a task to do entirely by yourself. Like you would eventually do it, but there would be someone to back you up, like guide you in things where you need actually. So so the interview process was similar, but just for 3 hours, as I said. And then there were a couple of rounds with the leads and other directors. But it was around 4 interviews, like the total including the test. It was around four interviews.
How did you feel when you got your first credit for a project in this industry?
That was something I always refer back. It was really good. I can't tell you the exact words I felt. It wasn't what to say, a major thing, I would say, but it was a small venture into a project that we were working in my previous company. And once I saw my name in it, oh man, I felt really great. I can't tell you how I felt in words, man. But the first credit and my name as an animator, man, it was something else. It was purely nostalgic.
I had the similar experience when I saw my name in the credit. I took the screenshot. I showed everyone.
Okay.
Before that, I used to never sit for the post credit or something
Yeah.
like that. But then,
Exactly.
since I started working in this industry, after I finish a game, I sit and see who all are there. In the
Exactly.
credits.
Same for me.
Yeah.
Same for me. I just sit back and look into all the people that worked and yeah.
It's a very different feeling. You start showing everyone, see the credit. I
Yeah,
worked here.
I worked here.
So that's something I.
Some projects you can talk about?
I worked for Hotstar Disney with
Okay.
my previous company. In that I got my credit for all the episodes as a production. When I was at Micros, I worked for Disney projects, DreamWorks projects. There also I have some credits.
Nice.
Working as a production.
It feels so surreal, man. Really.
Yeah, when the credit comes up, it's nice. It's like evidence that you can show to everyone.
Yeah.
I see I worked here.
And more than evidence, the experience that you have had while working in that
Yeah.
episode or in that timeline, it's really good. All the efforts you have put in, it really paid off, and it's really there for everyone to see.
So, what would be your suggestions to new junior animators that are joining industry?
For me, I would say one major thing is accountability. I guess owning up to what you're working. That is major. That is a major thing that I see missing. Even I lacked while I was starting out. Everything like because I didn't have that experience, so everything was fun for me. But eventually, when you start off, that isn't always the case. You have to take accountability of the work that you're working in, owning up to what you have done. If you have again made a mistake, then you have to own up to the mistake and learn from it and move on. You cannot just stick to it and just be there that I made a mistake and I cannot work. It doesn't always work that way. But taking accountability of your work, then pretty much being aware of your surroundings. Like if you're in a team, you obviously work in a team. You're not a solo player in a team, so you have to collaborate with them. You have to be aware of what the peers are working in, and obviously everyone have their own place to offer. So you have to learn from them, give them the feedback when needed, take their feedback when needed, and really be part of a team that you're working in. You won't always be a solo player everywhere. There might be scenarios or projects where people work in, but because till right now I've obviously worked in a team, so I get the teammate factor. Yeah, we'll do as a team, so that is always there. Other than that, I think you'd like to add up.
Basically, the main point would be accountability,
Yeah.
and also as a junior, the looking forwardness to learn something.
Yeah,
out of the
exactly.
project.
Yeah. Not just sticking
Yeah.
it to what I know.
Not sticking to the task that you have been assigned.
Yeah,
Being
exactly.
open about
Mhm.
taking new tasks and also learning. Because when it comes to the junior artists, it's more of learning out of a project.
Exactly. Yeah, and
gaining
growing
the
eventually.
experience.
Yeah.
So before getting into your first job as an animator, I
Yeah.
feel you also had an internship.
Yeah.
So how did internship help you in joining in the first studio that you joined?
Yeah, internship was as I said, the deadlines that they gave me during the internship time, it was really that stood out. As a student, obviously I didn't have a deadline in my mind, but once I started the internship, I really got into the pipeline. They made a schedule, what needs to be done in what amount of time and what would be the quality. So during that set period of time, I was really into the pipeline, and I need to within a set amount of number of hours I had to report back and give them a status of where the the status is, and that really helped me out because even right now the same pipeline is being followed. Like I'm given a task, obviously then I work for a set amount of hours, then I have to report back to my leads and give them a progress. If I'm facing an issue, I let them know, or get in touch of my peers if there's any concerns out there. So that that workflow, that mindset, that really helped me out while I was in the internship.
So I had my first internship,
Yeah.
and what helped me a lot was from a student joining into a corporate or into a
Yeah.
studio. Internship was something which taught me professionalism,
Exactly.
how to be around people, how to be in a business. So at Ardra we do provide internship, but it's very selected people that get into the internship,
Right.
and it's something that I feel internship is very important for new students who just got graduate, internship provides you a set of rules that you are supposed to follow when you get into a
Exactly.
firm,
Yeah.
so that it helps you around learning how to behave around people, how to
Yeah.
have basic etiquettes, how to be a little bit professional
It's a
around
good
people.
glimpse of the corporate
Yeah.
world. So internship really helps out.
And also it gives you an idea about if you get out of internship, this is how the whole experience into a studio will look like.
Yeah.
So I feel internship is very important
Yeah.
when it comes to for new graduate people. Okay, coming back to the portfolio.
Yeah.
So how did Ardra help you in building a portfolio that would eventually get you jobs?
Yeah, firstly, like before getting into that, Ardra really helped me out understand the basics of it, basics of animation, because it's very necessary. They slowly, like all the principles that I was just talking to you about. So the mentors made me realize what each and every principle is and how they are crucial into a shot. So those really help me out. And coming back to setting up my portfolio, like I did a couple of shots with them. Those were a pantomime shot and a lip sync shot. So they really helped me out. Put into those principles into my shot. So that really helped me. And after that, they gave me an opportunity where my shot would be reviewed by a great community for animators, not just animators, like every like modelers or every 3D aspect there's a community called as Agora community. So that so my mentor really put my like demo reel out there with this, like the animators from the Agora community, and get those reviewed. So I got my shots reviewed. I really understood how in the ways that I could have really pushed, and my my future possibility that I should be addressing while I'm animating for a demo reel. So that really helped me out. Yeah, that was I would say that was a key part of it, that I got some reviews from Agora community as well, and combined with what knowledge I had back there and with my mentors helping me out, that really pushed my demo reel. Yeah, mostly that, yeah. And the while internship interning also, the time frame that they had given me, so that all those respects really helped me out, like to understand what I'm doing right now. Internship was my thing that really stood out.
So, being at Rockstar, I believe that's like the one of the toughest place to get in. What would be your advice for people who are appearing for interviews?
See, everywhere you apply, besides the creative knowledge or skill that you have, people really look for how a person is really like behind the back. Like you have movies behind the scenes, how they really tell you how a character is, how much they enjoyed. So people who are hiring, they mostly want to know how you are as a person, because somewhere down the line, if you're good in your creative skill, technical skills would eventually fall into place, and you'll eventually learn the tools or things that they are using in the pipeline. So that is something that can be easily acquired, besides the creative thing I'm talking about. But people really look into how a person is, how he or she behaves, how he or she mingles around with other people. Are they a solo player or are they a team player? How does each of them have their own ways they can contribute to a team? So they really try to understand that mindset behind it. If you're approaching for a shot, what was your mindset? Why did you choose the shots you have chosen? What really helped you out? So besides the creative thing, they want to understand your thought process. So mostly these things really they look out for while interviewing.
So, similar happens at Ardra as well. When we hire students for interview,
Okay.
for the internship as well,
Yeah.
we try to look for people who are self-motivated
Right.
and who are eager to learn, because basically those are the skills which keep one motivated towards learning something. So it's very hard to find people with those skills right now, and we try to get people who are very much into self-motivated.
Right,
And,
because obviously they won't have the
Yeah.
the industry, what to say,
Experience.
experience
Yeah.
to back up. Yeah, so that really makes sense.
But coming to that, experience will be provided when they work as an intern.
Yeah, okay.
Because that helps one to get into this industry, and also the studios which are looking for experienced artists, they can have someone from Ardra who is experienced with internships and who has worked on real-time projects with us.
Right.
So, but internships also need someone who has a bit of knowledge of what he is going to get into the internship as well.
Exactly.
So basically, yeah. So coming to the internship and the training part,
Yeah.
how was Ardra in internship and training for you?
It was really good. I really look forward to those days when I was learning in Ardra. It was really different because, firstly, it was my first experience that of what a corporate life is in animation. So that was a good glimpse of me where I stood, because while I was learning it, like it's a never-ending process, obviously. But while I was learning, there was not a fixed time barrier that I had to put in. Like, this is the amount of time I need to complete this task, because I was learning, so obviously I needed some more time to get things done. But in Adra, what they made sure is uh, they follow the studio standards, obviously, because they gave me a task within this set amount of time, and I need to deliver this particular task with the quality within the time. So that was something that really stood out for me and really helped me what the industry was about, and like it was a good glimpse of me what is out there basically.
So I think you also compared with other animation schools as if that are out in the market.
Yeah.
So how do you make a difference between Adra and other animation schools in the market?
To be honest, the like I wouldn't be able to tell about all the studios out there, but like to the few of the studios that were around in my hometown, when I visited them, I was not fully convinced about the quality that they were putting in. Obviously, I'm not like putting offense to anyone, any student learning out there, but something about me, I couldn't really I couldn't get convinced by the teachers that were out there. And in Adra, it was completely different, because I knew the mentors out there were working there, working in a like they had a good number of experience to back up, and the reel that they themselves had was really out of my mind. And like the way they talked to me, it was not just, they were not just like pushing me or doing anything to get me on board with them, but they were really friendly, and the way they projected themselves, it really stood out to me. And it was not like they're behind money, or they want more students to come up, or nothing like that. They were pure with their intention that they wanted people to, or students to learn. So that was the sole reason why I wanted to get into Adra. And I was really happy with the mentor and the experience, plus the reel, plus the basics that they helped me understand. So that really stood out to me.
How was your day to day when you were in internship?
It was probably not probably, it was almost same how I'm experiencing it right now. Whenever I start off my work, I just let my mentors know that I'm starting off my work, and I had to keep a fixed number of hours that I put in. And yeah, it's basically very similar to how I'm working right now. Just like I didn't really have a punch in time, but they gave me that flexibility that I could start like they had a fixed time, but within that range I can like start off, I could have started off anytime. So yeah, really, when I started off, I obviously like let my mentors know that if I'm struggling with anything, I like spend an hour. If I'm not able to resolve it, then I let my mentors know that this is where I'm stuck at. And it's very close to how I'm experiencing it right now. So if anyone is joining it, it would be very similar, if not same, to how the industry is. So yeah.
So basically at Adra, that was our major goal, to have a internship which is studio similar.
Yeah.
We try to simulate everything that happens in a studio in the same internship, so that everyone who joins knows how a studio works. So we try to make sure the whole experience of internship is very close to how a studio really works
Yeah.
on. So I'm glad that Adra had given you a
Yeah.
good amount of experience about how a studio would look.
Yeah. It was casual, but it was just the right amount of strictness that a person needs to have to maintain a that corporate relationship with everyone, with the peers, and with the team leads, with the managers. So it was just the perfect blend of everything, I would say, that internship had.
So how did you find Adra different from other academies and other studios?
The first thing, if I have to compare, I recently came across a guy who's from my city, and he enrolled into one of the institutes, animation institutes out there, and it's a pretty renowned institute. I won't obviously take the names, uh, but while I was talking to him, he was really frustrated on the fact that he wasn't getting a job, and he was really feeling burned out. Like he didn't even start off as a professional, but he was feeling burned out on the fact that he's applying but he's not getting anywhere. Then I was just casually talking to him and he was sharing his experience. He what he told, that was a notable thing for me to compare what Ardra is giving and what institutes are there. He told that obviously while he was getting enrolled into it, he was he was really pumped up to the fact that their institute is giving everything that you want. It's really out there, because they have their name, like the institute name. So it's obviously going to be very good across any branches that are there in India. So he was really pumped into the fact that it's going to be very good. They're going to give you everything that you need. But slowly, what he came to realize that the teachers weren't experienced enough to give them the bridge that we are talking about, that is needed. The teachers themselves, they don't have major experiences working in any what to say projects, and whatever they worked in were bare, like to say, bare minimum. For a teacher, what I feel is, for a teacher to be really mentoring students, they should have a good experience to tell what is there in the market, and that is something that was missing in that particular institute from where that guy graduated from. So, and as a result, his portfolio wasn't very pleasing, and you could see the flaws out there. Like, people who are not very experienced in it would say that it's not good enough, because the level of even right now, a fresher who's applying, there's a set number of criteria that he or she must be fulfilling. The demo reel, with respect to the demo reel, it should be that good. Like, it should be notable enough, because everyone can make like small basic details, but it really comes down how minutely you can work in those things. So his portfolio was bare minimum, and it really didn't qualify to a I would say, to be really blunt, it was mere exercises that he put up in his portfolio, and it wasn't really appealing to me, and I could understand why he was not getting jobs. It was purely based upon his portfolio. It wasn't too great. There were notable flaws in his demo reel, and after talking to him, even he agreed that, yeah, this place could have been better. Then, like, if you are aware that there's a certain place where it could have been better, you should be working on that in that particular area, and like improving it, obviously. But he just let it go, and he put those things into his demo reel, and that is one major flaw that I would say, for a portfolio, with respect to a portfolio. Because if you see that there's a flaw, you either work on it and mend those flaws, or don't put it up. Simply as that. Work on something as if that is boring you up. So, and the teachers out there also didn't really push him, and they also had a bare criteria that if you're done till this much, yeah, you can just wrap it up and it's fine. He or she need not put in more effort into it, and that is something very lacking with the current institutes out there, that they are not really pushing the students to go beyond. They just have a particular boundary. If you reach up to that, then you're done, and that's the case for all the students out there. They're crossing that limit A, then you're done. Work on something else. But whereas the teachers should really push forward and break the bare limit. There's a what to say. If you have reached ground zero, you should like really push and go beyond that.
Yeah.
That pushing part of it is something that I saw in his profile, that teachers were not pushing in. Whereas in Ardra, what I really vouch for is the sole respect that teachers, the mentors out there, is there behind your back and gives you more ideas for you to think. It's not just about teachers pushing you. They give you ideas where you can think and you can go beyond your what you're planning for. And that is a major thing that I see in his profile, and that was the reason why he was not like immediately getting job, and he was really frustrated about. And I like really like suggested some things where he can push in his portfolio,
Mhm.
and why is it that he's not breaking into the industry and all. So those are there. I think that is something majorly lacking in the other institutes, and really differentiate from what Ardra is giving right now. So yeah.
Coming back to what is essential for a new student, that is like demo reel.
Yeah.
So what do you think is very essential points for a demo reel?
Uh, the first and foremost thing the demo reel should have is it shouldn't be very lengthy.
Mhm.
It should be just the right amount of time that showcases your talent to the most perfect level. Like if you are making if there's a body mechanic shot, there need not be 3-4 body mechanic shot if they are all about the same thing. If there's a kick, there need not be any like a repetition of the same thing. You can have one body mechanics that showcases your skills perfectly, and that would still be enough. And have a what to say a lip sync if you are really good at it. I see many demo reels that have everything, as in they have a body mechanic shot, they have a number of lip syncs, they have a number of creature animations, but none of them that are really refined to the level that people can really appreciate without seeing the flaws in it. So yeah, that is there. Like there need not be so many variations. You can keep 2-3 things that are really that you really understand, because it's once you are into the industry, they would obviously know your skill. So if your demo reel is you make everything out of it and you're not good in any of them, so you would eventually, like if you have just started working, then that part of it you would like people would really catch in the very moment when you are animating. So keep it to the very basic as possible for the fresher especially. There need not be all the creature animations. If you are good in it, obviously there's no bad, it's even good that you are putting it out there. But if you're not confident in it, obviously don't put, because people, obviously the hiring team would eventually catch up with what you are really good in and what you're not. So they would know, because they are in the industry for so long that they have developed that eye. So it, like, you can keep it within a minute, and it may even end in 40 seconds or 30 seconds, and that 30 seconds can really be that, that empowering, that as a person looks in, he or she gets hooked up to the stuff that you're putting it out there. So yeah, it can be as short as possible, but the real content matters, what you're putting it up there. People, like, if you can even post a thing in your LinkedIn profile, and people will really get hooked into it because it's that good. It may be very short, as like 5 seconds or 3 seconds, but that content really matters. So what I would say to the student is just shorten down as short as possible, keep only the best things that matter, and within that best thing that you can, it really projects how good you are. It really, like, evokes the skill that you have. So that really matters. After all, it's a creative industry, so you really, like, if you're putting a demo reel, it should be that good, so that people don't catch the flaws that are really evident. Obviously everyone has flaws in them, so if you start to nitpick, everything like falls apart, or like there's always something to learn. So but the thing that really matters is a body mechanics shot, as that would be the very primary thing that every animator should know and should be really good in. So that is one thing, the most important thing out of, like, and every other thing. And those, what to say, those body mechanics body mechanics shot should also, like, project the principles that are there in the animation, like the 12 principle that everyone keeps a note of while animating. So those are also there. And yeah, bouncing balls are really helpful for an animator. And if you're like putting it in your demo reel, it should have that. It should not be a plain bouncing ball up and down. It should not be that. It should at least convey a story out of it. I see many demo reels that just plainly puts up exercises, and I would say somewhere those are not relevant, because those are mere exercises. If you're trying to convey a story, a short story within a second or two, that really helps out. Because for the person who's looking at it, he would know that there's a story behind it, and you have really thought in or put in the hours behind it, and they really understand what you have put out there. A plain bouncing ball, I don't think that's necessary, because it's an exercise after all. Yeah, mostly that, I would say.
So, what would be the message for new students who are just out of graduates and want to join into VFX jobs and everything?
What I want to say is, if you're really interested in animation, just stick in with the if you really want it, you stick in with whatever your gut says. And like just how I went with my gut that I really wanted to do, and I like pushed myself into it. So you have to get better. So students obviously need, like, just don't stick with whatever you know. Limit yourself with the knowledge you have, because it's ever growing, and with the AI coming in, you obviously need to grow. So don't just stick within a loop. Just try to evolve, find new ways, find new pipelines, find new workflows that help you. But just enjoy the process, man. Just that really helps out, because it's a creative world. So you cannot be like really, at times you cannot be very technical about it. You have to be creative. You have to just evolve and like break the barriers of whatever people say. But it really helps out, because this creative field, if it doesn't come from within you, somewhere it doesn't help you, because that is something what helps me. Because if I'm working on a shot, if it doesn't like come from within, the shot doesn't come out to be good. So for the future students or new students who are like trying to get into the field, it's a lovely field. It's a creative field. I enjoy it every day. I get to do it every day, so I'm really enjoying it. And just sit back, relax. Don't take like pressure about the current scenario of the market. It'll do good, I believe so. Yeah, that's more of it.
What message you would have for your past self before joining the training or before joining this industry?
I won't be talking about the creative thing. I would really say myself back then to have more accountability of what I was working in. Obviously, I just graduated from college, and I had that mindset that everything will work out fine. Yeah, obviously, like everyone gets to that phase, but some seriousness would have helped me out more. And procrastinating was something that I always used to do back then, and I would tell myself to not do that, like emphasizing on the fact to not do it again and again, because like I always keep my things for the last moment, and that shouldn't have done. I would probably have started animation in my college itself, like at least the basics of it. I think I started in pretty late, so I would have done that. And yeah, and just enjoying the field. That's all.
So, apart from animation, what is other departments that you find interesting?
I'm slowly starting to like the camera thing. The how the director puts in perspective of the viewers, what the viewer should be looking at, deviating from like the things that are not so important. That camera thing is really like intriguing me in like new ways that I'm looking movies in. Then other than that, modeling is good. Modeling is good because obviously the sketching part of it helps in that way. Sometimes when I'm like not very interested in animating, I just hop into Blender and model some small basic thing that doesn't need to be out there. It's just for me just to relax. So yeah, these fields are really really good. What do you like about animation?
What I like about animation is the way the director thinks and imagines, and he creates a character, and then the character has its own interviews about the story, and then he goes around. Basically, my love towards animation comes from the love towards stories. I love imagining characters. I love characters doing random stuff, making a story out of it. So that's what the major thing about animation I love is. And also, live action versus animation. The major thing I like about animation is you can go crazy with the characters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Live action, you have a set of limitations about what characters you imagine.
Right.
But when it comes to animation, you can create any kind of characters. You look at Shrek, you look at dragons and everything.
Exactly.
You can just imagine and make sure.
Just limitless possibilities out there.
Earlier the animation field was limited to kids and the cartoons, but now I can see a lot of things coming out for the adults as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Recently we saw Love That and Robot.
Robots, yeah. And then Arkin came up. It really just blew my mind. The concept, the visuals, it's really good.
They go crazy with the art style and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no limitation also, so you can just break the barriers and just be out there and tell what you wanted to tell.
Yeah,
it's really good.
That is very interesting. Can we look forward you from jumping from games to feature films and VFX?
I don't know at the moment because I'm enjoying the gameplay stuff. but maybe if the opportunity calls for it, and yeah, why not? I want to keep my limbs out there and just be there. I don't want to limit myself, but yeah, I'm just enjoying the gameplay stuff right now, so it's good.
So how does the future look for you?
For me, I would say, yeah, the industry is going up and down, and I can't really tell like how the 5 years might look like for the industry. But as of now, I'm really enjoying it, and I really feel myself that I wasn't quite feeling it when I was working in other streams. So I feel I'm at ease, and I really want to push myself into this and like just be better and better. I don't want to like be like if I've reached. I don't want to have that mindset there. I just want to like evolve and because this is also, if you like stay stagnant, it like the industry will like eat you up or something.
Yeah.
But I just want to be there and keep learning and keep growing. But I'm feeling ease to myself because it's my field.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Any personal projects that you're working on currently?
Not particularly. I'm just like, besides the basics that I keep on animating, I'm just working on my demo reel or my few attack sequences or something that just pops into my mind and just wanted to make a thing out there. But yeah, mostly on my on portfolio.
So you talked about 12 principles of animation.
Yeah.
What all things do you think is very necessary for an animator to have?
The first and foremost thing that I really struggled in was the timing and spacing. I think I put that as the most priority thing. I try to hit that the very first moment while I'm animating. I for the ease of understanding, I use the cube as my first pass and just understand how the entire shot would look like. I may have iterations where I'm brainstorming in that first pass itself that this may or may not look good in the end. So that really helps me out, because if I'm directly starting with a character, it's very complex, and for a cube it's just a single control and you just play around with it. So timing and spacing is the first and foremost thing that I try to hit. Then other things that eventually you just start to get into while you are polishing it. So those are the ease in and ease outs. Those are really what pushes an animation. After that, yeah, having a good anticipation also really sets the story. Because if you look into those movies like Hotel Transylvania and all, they had really good anticipations and very snappy animation. So you have to have a good anticipation to sell the story. So that movie really stands out in that respect. But yeah, really, I try to prioritize the timing and spacing in that respect. Then slowly all the secondary actions having like beautiful arcs in an animation and not have jitters in it. Like jitters are also necessary where required. I won't say that jitters are like jitters as in something that makes the movement feel natural. We are not always moving in an arc, so somewhere what to say, arcs may not be very necessary. Again, it's very subjective to what one is animating. But yeah, clear arcs is good. A clear arc as in ones that is very pleasing to the eye.
Yeah.
So that really helps. So yeah, mostly those. What do you think? What is like how do you, what's your workflow when you used to work?
Well, I never worked as an animator.
Okay.
But what I looked for towards animation was I did handle a lot of animation teams.
Okay.
So my role at animation was pretty much handling team.
Okay.
I used to just give space for the animators to work.
Oh.
I did not push animators to be like, okay, you need to submit it, we need to have it.
Okay.
But I used to sit with supervisors when they used to have a check on all the shots that they were having. I once sat with one of the animation supervisor. So he was teaching me how lip sync happens, what are the certain sounds and what are the certain shapes of lips that happen when we go for the lip sync. So that basically I have a very small amount of experience with animation. Because I did
you
not
mostly
work.
handle teams.
Yeah, I
okay, right.
majorly handled asset team, I majorly handled animation team, so basically that's my
Nice.
little bit experience with
Okay,
animation.
cool.
So any new softwares that you're learning apart from the current ones that you're using?
Nothing in particular. Yeah, mostly Maya, Blender. Those are the basic things that I keep using after my work hours. I was using Cascader for some time, and it's really interesting. And what they are achieving with AI coming in, and they are blending it perfectly how an animator would want it to be. But Cascade, it's really good, and I think it'll make a good reel in the future as well.
For me, apart from doing production work, I sometimes use Unreal Engine
Yeah.
because it's easy to play with the lights and
Exactly.
stuff.
Yeah, it's too good.
And apart from that, earlier stages I used to like Blender when it was very very new.
Mm-hmm.
I think it goes back to early stages of pandemic when I was trying to get into
Okay,
Blender.
that's the very early stage of
Yeah.
Blender.
It was pretty new,
Yeah.
and that time also I was trying to use Unreal Engine, but I was using it on my laptop, so it was pretty heavy that
Yeah,
time. So
that's
I started using Blender a bit more.
Mhm.
So yeah, basically those softwares I was trying.
Yeah,
to
Unreal
use.
has evolved like
Yeah.
crazy. What it can do right now, man. Even I was animating in Unreal as well. Because you can directly tell if you're creating a game and you're animating in Unreal, so you
Yeah.
can just directly plug it in and just test it for yourself. That really helps out, and the plugins that the Unreal has started to make, for especially for animation, it's crazy. It's really helping. I wasn't animating in Unreal like a few years back, but once I got to know about it, I truly love the experience that the engine has given me. Because the major advantage is I can directly hook it up into the the blueprints and all, and just
Yeah.
directly see how the game actually looks like.
Mhm.
That's really crazy and it's really good.
And I feel you coming from an engineering background would make you very easy to use Unreal Engine because it has a lot of coding part as
Yeah,
well.
it does. It has blueprints as well.
Uh-huh.
It has C++ is also there.
Okay.
Yeah, it really helps me out. The code part of it I don't use regularly,
Mhm.
but whenever I'm using, yeah, it kind of helps me out because I get the logic behind it and
Yeah.
why not it's working, and things behind that technical part of it. Not very much, but slightly it helps. Yeah.
For me, Unreal was something that I found very plus point on was the real time changes that I could see whatever I
Yeah,
was doing,
right.
rather than sitting and rendering it and then
Right.
seeing.
Yeah.
But Unreal was showing me real time changes on whatever I was
Yeah.
doing. That was something that I
Exactly.
liked. Where was your schooling?
I did my schooling in Siliguri.
Uh-huh.
That's in West Bengal,
Uh-huh.
very close to Darjeeling, if people know Darjeeling. So yeah, it's very close to that. I did my schooling there, but like till standard fourth. Actually, I was born in Manipur, so
Mhm.
I did my schooling till standard fourth out there.
Mhm.
Then I moved to West Bengal, fourth and five in Karshiang. Like it's also very close to Darjeeling, and it's a hilly area. And I was like staying in a hostel there, so 2 years hostel. Then from class 7, I moved back to the plains. Uh, yeah, my school name was Saint Alphonsus School. So till 10th I did my schooling there. Then 11th, 12th I was in DAV. So that's also in Siliguri. So and after that my engineering, Siliguri Institute of Technology, and that's also in Siliguri. So my schooling and college days were in Siliguri itself.
Mine was scattered. I've been a lot of places. Basically, army schools all over the India.
Yeah.
3 years here, 3 years there. So
Exactly.
if I start counting, it will again take like 2-3 hours to count the schools.
What was the best place that you've been in during your school days?
There were two. One was once I was in Hyderabad.
Okay.
5 years there, and later then I moved to Rajasthan.
Okay.
That is when I was spending my 10th class, 11th class, and 12th class.
In Rajasthan.
Yeah, in Rajasthan. Those were the years I did a lot of mischievousness.
Okay.
I would say a lot of things I had.
Things
lot
you
of,
don't talk about.
Yeah,
You
things
shouldn't be talking about.
We should not be talking about on camera at least.
Yeah.
And I still have a lot of friends. I have friends all over the India, I could say, because
Nice.
they also being army background, they get again scattered out
Right.
here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically that's how my schooling went. Let's come back to you. What
Yeah.
were your hobbies?
My hobby currently after work I play play as in computer games. So I've just recently completed Spider-Man 2. And I'm currently like I don't know how more to go, but I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now. And besides that, I have a TT pad, so I play with my friends. I have a couple of friends who stay very close to me. So like after office, we usually hang out and play games. So mostly my time goes into that. And yeah, on the weekends, like just hanging around in people's house or like here and there, hopping in clubs or something like that. Yeah, mostly my days now it looks like that. But I do like have a good amount of. I spend a good amount of time in sketching as well. Uh, that just keeps my head straight and like makes me feel very calm. So yeah, that's always been there, and I just wanted to keep it that way. I'm sketching mostly with what to say pencils, shades and all. So yeah, mostly those.
So coming back to your games, what's your favorite game?
My favorite game is and undoubtedly would be the Last of Us series.
Oh.
Both of them.
I saw my brother playing it, but I
Yeah.
did not enjoy it.
Why?
I mean, like the story was pretty much slow, but that's still something controversial that I'm talking about myself because my
Okay.
favorite game is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
So
nice.
that also has pretty
Nice.
slow story, but
Yeah.
I do love it.
It takes you on a journey, so
Yeah.
you have to just be there, wait, and just have patience.
I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2, when it started, it was like a very slow game. I was
Exactly,
thinking,
yeah.
when is the horse going to run?
Yeah.
Do I need to travel with this horse on the whole story?
Yeah.
But then, while it was coming to the end of the whole game, it was like emotional and it was like, oh my god, this was like a movie.
Yeah, I couldn't complete the game like not even halfway there. Like I was switching my PC and
Yeah.
it didn't work out for me. But I started RDR2 and the animation is crazy, man. The variety that the game has given to the players is phenomenal. The snow trails and all, I don't know. It blows my mind. But I really enjoyed Last of Us because the experience, the storyline. I loved the storyline. The second part is controversial because Joel died, and it really pulled my heart out. But I eventually got the reason, like why and all what happened. The story part of it, I really liked it. The gameplay is really good. The experience that the game has given me, the fighting the zombies. Then another game I really enjoyed was I'm forgetting the name. It's also a zombie apocalypse. Man, I really recently the remastered version of it also came out.
My brother was playing recently Days Gone.
Yeah, Days Gone, exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
He's still
exactly.
playing it right
Yeah, it's really good. The horde and all.
Yeah.
I just really love the bike experience that the
Yeah.
game has given. It was truly.
I think
good.
it has like the small children zombies also.
Mm.
That's very creepy.
Yeah,
I don't know how they.
that's really creepy. Yeah,
I don't know how they made the concept of it
Yeah.
and how they imagined it because it's creepy as
it's
hell.
creepy. It's creepy. Really, it's creepy.
And they come out of as like a bunch of it, so it looks like a spiders coming
Yeah.
out. It's creepy.
Yeah.
I think Red Dead Redemption 2 again, Rockstar Games, they're doing a great job with it.
Yeah. that
I don't know
really
what's
I'm
happening
really
in the studio.
proud of.
It should be like a lot of things going on.
There should be more behind the scenes, I guess, coming out from the studio. It's really good.
What about movies? What are your favorite movies?
Mm, okay, I really have to think.
You can go for anime as well if you like anime.
Anime, yeah, I'm watching this. Shit, I'm very bad with names. Okay, I'll just recall the name that I'm watching. I really love Naruto. In that respect, I really love Naruto. Then Death Note is there. It's my favorite thing. The pure content that the anime has given us. Then I've watched My Hero Academia. That's also really good. Yeah, now and then the clips in the Instagram they keep popping up, and I just wait and take some moment and just really like take in what I've experienced the first time while I was watching it the first time. It's really good. Anime, it's on a different level because the storyline that they put up and the the anticipation that the
Yeah.
story develops and the climax and all, it's really just blows my mind.
I don't watch a lot of anime, but
Yeah.
I've seen very less of it. My favorite would be Vinland Saga.
Okay, yeah, I haven't watched that, but yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. And apart from that, Death Note, I think I saw it. It was very early on,
Okay.
so I did not enjoy a lot. But I do.
Did you watch the anime or the live action?
Anime.
Anime, okay.
Yeah, it was very old. I think I saw it during the pandemic, but after that I did not get back to anime. I don't know.
You should really. The story is really good.
Yeah, and I'll get back to it again.
What do you do in your free time? Like what's your hobby?
My hobbies, I play football.
Oh.
I go to the gym.
Yeah.
I read books, and sometimes enjoy cooking at home.
Nice.
My brother enjoys eating, so I try cooking for
Okay.
him a lot.
Yeah.
Apart from that, yeah, watch a lot of movies and shows.
What are you watching right?
I just wrapped up The Vikings.
Okay, yeah, the
and,
Vikings.
and also I'm on side by side watching The Last Kingdom. It's also the same sequence of the Vikings. So I'm currently hooked up with that. And apart from that, I'm rewatching Better Call Saul with my brother
Okay.
because I'm also getting him into the movies and shows, so he's
Uh-huh.
also watching it. So I'm rewatching it.
Mhm.
And here and there, I watch The Office.
The Office, yeah.
Yeah, while eating or something according to it.
Okay.
What do you think will help a student as in resources or the communities they can join?
Yeah. So in that respect, I'll tell you my experience. So while I was starting out, while I was animating, the first thing I should be telling is the software that I was using. So Blender is out there and it's free for everyone. So that was my first software that I started to learn, and the proper learning material that I got was from YouTube, which is again free. So those two things really helped me out while I was starting my journey. And besides that, we were just talking about Agora community. So that's a fabulous community. There are really good and mentors out there, and they have this monthly challenges. Even today, I guess they have a 24-hour challenge being hosted. So they have repeated challenges, and those challenges are really unique, and it really helps you out understand the perspective of what other fellow animators animated and what you have animated. So that also helps you out. So Agora communities, YouTube is obviously there. It's full of content right now. If anyone wants to start out, that can be the very first thing that they resort to, because it's right in our pockets, in our phones. It's easily available. So that would be the first thing. And coming back to softwares, Unreal is also free. So like they have their terms and conditions, but yeah, for person who's starting out, Unreal is there. If you are into games, making games, and that is there, then Blender is totally free. So those softwares are really good, and they're making a stamp in the market. So those are really good. And besides those, if you are regularly on LinkedIn, then there are people really putting it out there and hosting workshops that are free of cost, or sometimes they are paid. So joining to those also helps connect with people and really understand the market. So LinkedIn would be a good place. Then Twitter also has people really put up a great work out there in Twitter as well. So just looking out for things out there really helps, because you don't have to, if you're starting out, there's already lots of content in the market. And if you're failing to understand what field you want to choose in 3D animation, because it's not just a single field, there are multiple fields there as well. So these free contents really help you understand where you want to go in. And that is the foremost place from where I understood what I wanted to do, that I wanted to get into the 3D animation line. I really understood what modeling is, what texturing is, art surface texturing, all those things I really understood from YouTube itself. So that was the first and foremost thing that really cleared my mind what I wanted to do eventually. So yeah, those.
Okay, let's come back to experiences on working project.
Yeah,
So did you ever mess up on a project while working on it?
I did. I did. Obviously, I can't speak about the projects that I'm working right now. But yeah, I did. Majorly that I can recall is, I wouldn't say a big blunder in my current animation line, but I made some mess ups in my previous IT field. Okay, there, because I just started out as a fresher there as well, and it took me quite some time for me to learn. And there was a time when I really messed up really big time, and it was a technical thing, and since I was a fresher, I didn't really know about it. But I made a mistake out there, a big one, and it really took a good amount of time to fix those mistakes. And higher ups were alerted that there was a mistake done. Obviously for a fresher, it really just surpassed, but it was a big thing. The major thing that comeback that really got into me up till now is, if I have to compare, I was rushing it back then. I was rushing to know everything as fast as possible, and that what led to the mess up, and that was a major takeaway for me. And right now, anywhere I go, I just slow myself down, as in just take the amount of time I need to learn, so that I don't create big mistakes. Obviously, it's a part of life; it'll eventually be there, but at least take the time I need to learn, so that I'm well accustomed with all the tools, so that I don't make the mess up that I made back then, and that I just whenever I recall that messing up part, it was really bothering, because as a fresher, if you make up that level of a mistake, it really like puts you down. And but yeah, that was a big takeaway for me, just to take up some time and really learn, given the time. If you need doubts, yeah, if you have doubts, just work with your peers to get those resolved, and just sit back and take up slowly how much ever you can. Just don't bulk up everything that is on your way. Just streamline what you need at that moment, and just slowly, just because I take some time for to learn things that are new. So I, like, my brain doesn't work in that way that I take up everything. It takes some time for me, so I like take up some time and really learn, so that I don't make those mistakes that I made back then.
I once had a mess up. I was working one of the projects. It was an episodic project.
Okay.
So being in production, the mistake happens. It affects a lot of departments in together.
Yeah.
So it wasn't something which is dependent on one single department. It was causing a problem in a lot of other departments as well. So it was, I think, miscommunication that happened from my end, and I was trying to solve it without, informing my stakeholders, which I think should have been avoided. Because I think, like, if I were to tell myself, then what could have been, something better would be updating my stakeholders as soon as possible about the mistake, so that they can try to solve it with their powers. So that was something that happened with me, and I try to make the communication as clear as possible now on. But yeah, the mess ups that happen, it do really help in
Yeah,
going
exactly. Yeah.
further and learning something
Yeah.
which cannot happen again.
That realization later on,
Yeah.
that what could have been, how I could have evaded that mess
Yeah.
up, is something that really helps. And every time I come into that scenario, I just go back to that time, that how I faced, and then eventually it helps me take a breath of fresh air and just slowly take up the things that I need to take away.
So thank you, Rajiv.
Yeah,
Thank you
sure,
for
man.
sharing.
Sure.
It was,
Love conversing with you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking with you. I got a lot of things to learn about animation.
Same, yeah.
And-
Production management and all.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing, but yeah, it's so important and so crucial
Yeah.
in every pipeline.
And also, it doesn't feel like me and you are meeting for the first time.
Yeah, exactly, same.
So,
Same.
thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. But for staying this long, we have something for you. We will be hosting a free dynamic camera animation session, and details of which will be posted soon on our socials. So, thank you and see you.